Euphoria. Euphoria. They weren't heroes, they didn't save the world, but somehow their stories felt more real than anything else. Because Euphoria was never about perfection, it was about chaos, identity, and the fragile line between who we are and who we're trying to become. And while the characters were searching for meaning, the actors behind them were doing the same. Zendaya. Born September 1st, 1996 in California, USA. Before Rue, she was seen as controlled, polished, almost too perfect. A Disney image built carefully over years. But Euphoria shattered that image completely. Rue was broken, addicted, unpredictable, and Zendaya embraced every flaw. She allowed herself to be uncomfortable on screen, to look vulnerable in a way most actors avoid. That transformation didn't just win awards, it changed how the industry viewed her. But with that came pressure. Carrying such a heavy character means constantly stepping into emotional darkness. She has admitted that separating herself from Rue is not always easy. Yet she continues, choosing roles that challenge her, proving that her journey is about depth, not just fame. Hunter Schafer. Born December 31st, 1998 in New Jersey, USA. Jules represents identity in motion, never fixed, never simple. What makes her story powerful is how closely it mirrors Hunter's real life. Before acting, she was already an activist, standing in real-world battles for transgender rights. When she entered the show, she didn't just become an actress, she became a voice. That visibility brought both admiration and pressure, expectations to represent, to speak, to be perfect. But instead of conforming, she chose honesty. She helped shape her character, bringing real experiences into fiction. Her journey is not about fitting in, it's about redefining what it means to belong. Jacob Elordi. Born June 26, 1997 in Australia. Nate Jacobs is intensity, control, and hidden darkness. A character that made audiences uncomfortable, and that was the point. Jacob stepped into that complexity fully, delivering a performance that felt disturbingly real. But off-screen, his life changed overnight. Fame came fast, and with it came scrutiny. Relationships became headlines, privacy disappeared. Instead of embracing the spotlight, he stepped back from it, choosing depth over popularity, substance over image. His journey reflects a quiet rebellion against Hollywood expectations, a shift from being seen to being understood. Sydney Sweeney. Born September 12, 1997 in Washington, USA. Cassie is emotional vulnerability at its peak, someone who feels too much, loves too deeply, and often loses herself in the process. Sydney portrayed that chaos with painful realism, but her real life tells a different kind of struggle. She has openly spoken about financial insecurity, revealing a side of Hollywood most people don't see. Fame doesn't always mean stability. Behind success is pressure, fear, and the constant need to prove yourself. She worked relentlessly, balancing multiple projects, building a career step by step. Her journey is not about overnight success, it's about endurance. Alexa Demi. Born December 11, 1990 in Los Angeles, USA. Maddie Perez is confidence, power, and control. But Alexa's real strength lies in what she chooses not to show. In an era where everyone shares everything, she remains private, quiet, distant. That mystery has become her identity. People don't just watch her, they try to understand her, and maybe that's intentional. Because not everything needs to be explained. Angus Cloud. Born July 10, 1998 in California, USA. Fezco was calm in chaos, quiet, loyal, grounded. Angus wasn't a trained actor, yet his performance felt the most real, because it came from authenticity. But his real-life story took a heartbreaking turn. After facing personal loss and mental health struggles, he passed away in 2023. His death reminded the world that behind every character, there is a real human being, and sometimes their battles are invisible until it's too late. Barbie Ferreira. Born December 14, 1996 in New York City, USA. Kat Hernandez wasn't just a character, she was a statement. In a world where beauty standards are rigid and unforgiving, Kat represented confidence in a way rarely seen on screen. She was bold, unapologetic, and willing to take control of her own identity. But behind that narrative came a different reality. Barbie Ferreira became more than an actress. She became a symbol. And being a symbol is never simple. It comes with expectations, pressure to represent an entire community, and constant scrutiny from both fans and critics. Over time, creative differences and behind-the-scenes tensions led to her departure from the show. And that moment revealed something deeper about the industry. Representation is powerful, but it is also complicated. It raises the question, who gets to tell the story and who controls it? Barbie's journey reflects a struggle that goes beyond acting. It's about voice, control, and the challenge of staying true to yourself in an environment that often tries to reshape you. Storm Reid. Born July 1, 2003 in Atlanta, Georgia, USA. Gia is often overlooked, but her role carries one of the most emotional perspectives in the entire series. She is the observer of destruction, the one who watches someone she loves slowly fall apart. That kind of pain is quiet but deeply impactful. Storm Reid brought a level of maturity to the role that feels far beyond her age, and in real life she represents a different kind of journey, growing up in an industry while still trying to maintain a sense of normalcy. Balancing education, career, and identity is not easy, especially under public attention. But Storm approaches it with calm and intention. Her story is not loud or dramatic, but it is important. It shows that growth doesn't always come from chaos. Sometimes it comes from resilience, patience, and the ability to stay grounded when everything around you is constantly changing. Dominic Fike. Born December 30, 1995, in Florida, USA. Elliot exists in the gray space between connection and destruction, a character who represents temptation, influence, and emotional complexity. Dominic didn't come from a traditional acting background. He came from music, carrying his own experiences, struggles, and perspective into the role. That authenticity is what made his performance feel real. But his transition into acting also reflects a deeper journey. Moving from one creative world into another is not just about talent, it's about identity. Who are you when people start seeing you differently? When your past defines your image but your future demands change? Dominic's story is about evolution, about stepping into new spaces while still carrying who you used to be. And that tension between past and present is what makes his journey so compelling. Algie Smith. Born November 7, 1994, in Michigan, USA. McKay represents a kind of pressure that is rarely talked about openly. The pressure to succeed, to be strong, to meet expectations that were never fully yours to begin with. His storyline explores masculinity, vulnerability, and the fear of failure in a way that feels deeply human. Algie Smith brought nuance to that role, showing that strength is not about control, it's about honesty. And in real life, his journey reflects that same complexity. Balancing music and acting, navigating an industry that constantly demands reinvention, and finding a space where he can exist authentically. His story is not about sudden fame, it's about persistence, about continuing to move forward even when the path isn't clear. And that kind of journey often goes unnoticed, but it is one of the most real. Euphoria was never meant to be comfortable, it was meant to be honest. On screen, they were searching for identity. In real life, they were doing the same. Some found success, some found pressure, some found themselves, and some became something we will never forget. Because in the end, it was never about the drama, it was about the truth behind it.
stop.